All right, so I'll be starting this. I would say thank you for everyone participating today. We're now joined by the one and only Christi. So, Christi,
Everyone.
why don't you introduce yourself?
Okay, so I'm Christi Vlad. I'm a cybersecurity analyst and penetration tester, and I've been on HackTheBox. Uh, so it's 2018. In fact, I think I actually registered an account early on, back in 2017, but I only started working on the boxes in 2018 March.
Whoa, well, that's a respectable amount of time. You must have received the all-the-timer badge, I believe, as well.
I'm not really sure. So I've been on and off with the boxes. It's not like I've been there every month ever since. I've kind of been on and off. So I'm only at the rank of elite.
I can hear everyone in the chat being like, only the rank of elite? That's like insane.
It's not.
Yeah. So we got a few questions for you today, and we'll be happy if you would answer them. Uh, you're allowed to not answer
Right.
them if you don't like it. So, so we will
Sure,
starting
let's
off.
go.
Yeah, let's go. So the first question we have is, what made you want to start creating content?
Okay, so what made me want to start creating content? Actually, a long story. So YouTube. So I started creating content for my YouTube channel quite a while ago.
Hmm.
So what is his name on HTB, Christi.
Oh,
I started creating content on nutrition and all the diet and nutrition experiments I was doing a couple of years ago. And at the same time of creating that type of content, I started learning Python. I think it was 2015. And I also started getting more into cybersecurity. As I started learning Python, also started doing Python videos on my YouTube channel.
oh,
Um, what actually made me want to keep doing it was the fact that I feel that when I'm trying to teach something,
hmm,
one way to actually learn and master the subject better. So it's another way of learning for me.
hmm. Yeah, by providing content and such, you only verified your own skill, and the ability to pass the information on to someone who's not experienced in that field, it's a real challenge. So I totally get what you mean by it's a learning experience for yourself. Not that I'm a content creator or anything, but
Yeah, it actually makes you get deeper into the topic because you want to try explain it better so that like your audience can actually uh, understand it better.
mhm, yeah, because I mean, everyone can read off an RFC and be able to like tell what an RFC is and what the content about it, but actually breaking it down and passing the information on in an understandable manner, that's a difficult challenge or a difficult task. So it's a unique ability to have, and it only makes you smarter as well.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. So I feel like I haven't gotten to the bottom of the question. So as I kept on learning Python and started doing tutorials on my YouTube channel, I was doing Python for machine learning. I also got into cybersecurity, and I think it was only when I started getting deeper and actually working in the field, which was last year, that's when I started doing cybersecurity videos on the channel. So yeah, my Actually, my YouTube channel right now is oriented towards cybersecurity and penetration testing, and that's what I want to focus it on um, from now on.
Hmm. Yep, that was really well explained and very, yeah, it was a cool story. So we'll be moving on to the next question, where the question goes as, is your challenge or the current channel your first attempt of making content? Like, have you had any other channel that wasn't as successful?
Actually, yeah, it's my first attempt. So I never actually tried opening another channel in the past. So yeah, this is my current channel. I thought of actually opening another channel
Hmm.
related to other stuff, cybersecurity, but I feel like I would have to divide my attention into more than one places, and that would be unproductive for me at this point in time.
Hmm. So if you were to divide it, would be like one Python specific channel, or what's your thought process on this?
Can you repeat that?
Oh, if you were to divide up into multiple channels to
Oh,
touch
yeah.
on.
So if I were to divide it into multiple channels, it wouldn't be so. The focus of the channel right now is cybersecurity and everything related, and Python is also related to cybersecurity. So I'm gonna keep on doing Python videos for cybersecurity, like penetration testing with Python and all that stuff.
Hmm.
But if I were to divide it, I would. So if I were to make another channel that would be completely unrelated to cybersecurity and computer science, it would probably be on nutrition, I guess, and nutrition.
Oh, cool. Would be like not going to dig further into that. I'm not sure if people in this chat right now would like us to talk about nutrition or such, but moving along. Uh,
Okay.
what got you really into cybersecurity? You mentioned earlier that you're a penetration tester. There obviously has to be some form of interest that has peaked somewhere in your life.
Well, I think it was always this activity. I think it's like you doing a penetration test, you're trying to break into something with permission, of course.
Hmm.
So yes,
I mean,
it is actually the process itself very exciting to me. So trying to get to the bottom of something, trying to understand how a system works. That's how I kind of view if you can boil it down to fundamental elements, um, that's when you actually understand something, and that's what gets me excited.
mhm.
Not sure if it makes sense.
I think I understand you. Like when you're able to understand and like how the thing works, you get not only get you do you get a deeper understanding of the product or software or the hardware that you're working on, but uh, you get this full picture of how can you actually, exploit or further go into the system, if I understand you correctly, though.
Yeah, that's right. So I think Elon Musk portrays this as understanding something from the first principles. So
Mm.
trying to break something down fundamental basis.
Hmm.
And that's what I see penetration testing. It's trying to when I'm doing an assessment, it's so trying to get to understand that particular system better.
Mm,
that I could break into it, find the flaws, and actually try to mitigate them this way.
mhm. Yeah, that's yeah. From there's a comment from chat saying that if you can explain how to use something to make something else, you truly understand it. Yeah.
Who said that? I mean, I think that this is like a famous quote by someone.
Oh, let's Google it. Let's see if we're able to.
Was it Richard Feynman? Maybe.
Uh, ah,
Broken admin is typing.
broken admin.
Tell us. Oh, yeah, I think it's a quote as well.
It really sounds like a quote. Let's make it a broken admin, which is the originating because we don't know the source.
Okay.
If not, we'll take him for plagiarism. Oh God, I can't say anything.
Plagiarism, yeah.
Yeah. Was it Albert Einstein?
Maybe.
Oh, we're really derailing. Another
Yeah,
question
let's get back
from
on track.
Yep. Another question from the chat was, what certificates would you recommend for someone wanting to break into the industry, like get into the
Yeah,
field?
so this is actually a really good question. It's like really relevant to me right now.
Hmm.
So even though I work as a penetration tester, I don't have any certificates as of right now. I only have some courses that I made that I've actually uh, taken myself online, but I don't think that they're worth anything because it's a course. So most of the experience that I have, which is not that much
Hmm.
up until this point in time, I would put it not on those courses, but on the actual training that I've done on platforms like HackTheBox and other similar platforms,
Hmm.
and also on the experiences that I've done through my penetration testing assessments as part of my job. So would so right now I'm considering it's just a matter of time until I hit the buy button on the OSCP.
Hmm.
So the first one that I'm going for, and I know that right now at this moment there are voices out there that say that OSCP is outdated.
Hmm.
I think it was the Cyber Mentor who said this, that the OSCP is outdated and that it's mostly used as a filter for HR to actually uh, is for specific jobs.
Hmm.
But since a lot of people are going for it right now, I'm also going to buy the course in the next couple of weeks
Hmm.
and start taking it. Aside of the OSCP, I would say that on recommendations,
There.
those from Elearn Security, I guess.
Hmm.
Um, and of course, if you would have someone pay for you, it would be those at the Sands.
Yeah, the Sans one are fairly expensive. I think they're up in
Yeah,
like $15,000 or something insanely expensive.
yeah, but if you have an employer who pays them, I mean,
Yeah, that's just an investment for them. So, um,
yeah, so I guess as a penetration tester, so I'm strictly speaking of penetration testing right now. I'm not speaking of other courses. I haven't looked into CompTIA, Security Plus, and all other like certifications. I'm strictly speaking of penetration testing because that's what I'm really interested in at this moment. I'm also interested in reverse engineering, but I'll leave that for later, for until I would become like better at penetration testing, and I would start catching up with reverse engineering as well.
Hmm. This is might be wrong, but I always seen penetration testing or penetration testers as the first line that you would hire. So they would do a general assessment and evaluating the system, and then you would like hire in reverse engineers to further analyze. I cannot speak today apparently. The code and everything else that's going on. So for
I,
it's yeah.
honestly, to be, I mean, what I think that I see reverse engineering and reverse engineers like these Jedi masters, you know,
Yeah.
because it's so freaking complicated.
hmm it's amazing when you see someone really like doing God work with reverse engineering. uh,
Yeah, along those lines.
Speaking of among those lines, the next question. Are you looking to do
Hey,
any collaborations in the future with other YouTubers or uh, gurus or reverse engineering Jedis?
so if I am going to do collaborations,
hmm
yeah, of course I'm open to it. So I've been talking uh, just yet.
hmm
And yeah, of course, I'm looking forward to collaborate with the rest of the YouTubers in this space.
hmm Yeah, it's a great opportunity. Like everyone has something to share and everyone has their experiences. So
Of course,
collaboration.
yeah, I'm always open to collaborations.
Hmm. So while we're on the topic of collaborations, thank you for actually wanting to attend this AMA once again.
Of course, it's the first one.
Really, is this your first AMA overall, or
Yeah, it's the first AMA overall. I'm
ooh,
really honest here.
wow? Then we're really honored and to have you on here and taking on this journey.
I am honored. So
Uh,
thanks for having me.
uh, no, thank you. So we already touched on the next question, and it's fairly similar to what got you into cybersecurity. But are any particular events that made you even more interested in infosec or cybersecurity?
And
Yeah, like on school or something that you gain access to the teacher's computer, or something something like that. I don't know.
well, I would say I learned about, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Troy Hunt, the guy behind Have I Been Owned or Pwned?
Oh, he's a legend there.
Yeah, so knowing that so many passwords are leaked every day, and so I wouldn't call this an event, but it's something that actually got me motivated into getting more into cybersecurity. The fact that people are unaware of the importance uh, of how they should take care of their security online, because you can now find, with a little bit of a Google hacking, you can now find like passwords for any website that you want to go. Like
hmm
you don't have to register for a website. If you know how to do a little bit of a web search, you could find a password from someone else's account.
hmm
So that's what actually that's what actually made me want to get more into the field, because I want to increase the awareness of the importance of cybersecurity. And also another event was attending DAFCON last year.
Ooh.
So, which is something that which is an experience that I want to repeat in the future. So yeah, all of us have like childhood stories when we hacked into the school's, I don't know, computer, but uh, I'll probably, I don't know, maybe I'll leave that topic for another AMA.
That sounds awesome. Moving along. Let's see which question sounds awesome. Okay, so since you have this course on how to use Python as a penetration tester, or how you can use or create tools to aid in the process of doing penetration testing, what would you say is the most difficult thing to get your head around when you start to program Python?
Okay, so I'm not sure I get the question. So
In a nutshell, what would be the most difficult thing to get your head around when you're just starting off as trying to learn Python?
when you try to, I mean,
Like as a beginner, you're new to starting the programming, and uh,
if you want to get into programming, Python is probably one of the best ways that, or one of the best languages that you'd go for. And that's I've explained it in video on YouTube. It's because it's super straightforward. Its syntax is really clean, and you can actually read it like English.
mhm,
And that's why it's very easy to be your first programming language, instead of having to learn the syntax of another program where you would have to use colons and all sorts of like to remember at first punctuations.
mhm,
Um, and also the fact that, so I would go with Python also because it's very supported by a large community, and
mhm,
you have at least one library for whatever thing you would want to do. And for cybersecurity, you have quite a few libraries to work with. I mean, if not even more. I'm not sure if this answers the question. Like,
Sorta. I think maybe he was, or the person who asked the question was referring to like will be uh, how would how would you get into classes and how would you use functions or something like a certain aspect that's more difficult than others, I think. Um,
where is this question?
it's the
Right
fourth from
now,
the top.
let me see.
For everyone else in this channel, are you guys enjoying the AMA so far?
So I don't find the question.
Oh, all right, let's just move on then.
Do you post it one more time?
Yeah, sorry, we can do. That was the question.
What was the most difficult thing to get your head around when you started programming Python? Okay, so I actually had a couple of failed attempts when I wanted to learn programming.
Hmm.
I tried learning Java, like, oh, that was the first time I wanted to learn programming, and I wanted to learn Java because I wanted to develop Android applications.
Hmm.
Uh, I wasn't able to actually learn anything. I tried learning it from a book. For a couple of days, I quit. And then and one more time after a couple of weeks or months, I can't remember,
Mm-hmm.
failed. So I tried that for a couple of times and I said, that's it. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to learn programming. But then, so time passed and it was actually 2015. That's when I decided I wanted to start learning to program, and I would have a different approach right at that moment. I would try a different approach.
Mm-hmm.
I would want not to fail again, so not to repeat the other experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried ways in which I could do that. And one of the strategies that I used was to try to learn from multiple ways. One was by actually following the text from a book. Another one was watching videos and coding along, and another one was interactively.
Mm-hmm.
So, difficult thing to get my head around. I think I learned the basic concepts really fast, especially with variables, with data types, with functions, with conditional statements. These are actually really easy to learn in Python because forward, if this, then that,
Yeah.
many punctuations. So more difficult would be to learn classes.
Mm.
To be honest, you don't actually really need to use classes
No,
integration testing. You would be using classes if you want to develop modules or if you're writing like or something like bigger. That's when you would go for classes. But I think that you could completely avoid classes in Python, even though in Python they are not as difficult to understand as they would be in Java, for example.
mm.
If you would, so classes would be for me the most important thing to get my head around. Was the most difficult thing to get my head around.
Mm. Mm. That was way more detailed than the last answer. So I think it was a good thing that you actually got the question.
Yeah.
Uh, so you mentioned a little earlier about HackTheBox that you've been signed up and you've been on and off for a while. So what is your general idea about CTFs? Like, what are your opinions on them? Do you think they're a good thing, or or yeah?
Yeah, so I think they're great. So looking forward to find the time to participate in more CTFs. So in more like official, not like platform, like Hack the Box and the rest of the platforms, but like contests that are on CTF time, or
Mm-hmm.
like in like uh, CTFs where you go to a certain location and that's where the competition goes. Yeah, CTF time.
Mm.
So I think they're great from many perspectives. First off, if you're going to a location to attend the CTF, you not only get the experience of the CTF itself, but you also get to meet people that are on the on similar level of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Most often than not, will help you uh, become better.
Yeah.
Simply speaking.
While
Well,
yeah. So when attending a on-prem CTF, like you're saying, you're meeting like-minded or uh, people with similar interests as you, and that's obviously good. And I've seen a lot of people being afraid to attend these because they think they will be mocked or they don't know enough or something. And uh,
I don't think that's ever the case. I mean, or it's like very that may happen in very isolated situations, but um, so most CTFs have at least a couple of challenges for the very beginners.
mm,
It doesn't matter the level you're at. You can always join a team, or you can always take one of the easier challenges, or you can start by attending CTFs online. You feel that you're more ready,
mhm,
you could team up with one or two of your friends from Hack the Box and the an insight or on-site CTF.
mm, mm,
Yeah, and as Broken Admin says, CTFs and cybersecurity security teams indeed
yeah,
very welcoming.
yeah, yeah. They're always welcoming because it's information and from experience, security people really likes to share their experiences. Um, so yeah. Do
Hey.
you want to move on to the next question, or do you want to further talk about CTFs?
Yeah, we can move on. I mean, if the guys want to keep asking on this topic, we'll get more questions on CTFs.
Yep. Let's take a short one while people are talking. So, where can we Romanians contact you or get in touch with you?
Or what?
How can Romanians get in touch with you or be able to contact you?
Well, I mean, that's really easy. They have the YouTube channel and they also have me here. So just send me a message over here
Mm,
or on channel. That's really easy.
mm, mm. Um, you can always ping you as well, so that's an option.
Always what?
Ping, so that would be like uh,
Pinging me?
yeah, pinging. That's a term saying like sending a notification or getting an alert in Discord,
Fine.
like
It's fine.
like those. Um, there's always a question if we know if there's any CTF locations in the UK. Um, and I wouldn't know.
Should be.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean, aren't they listed on ctftime.org?
majority of them are. Um,
Well, Yalka says that there's a monthly CTF in London.
mm, I think Google would be your best friend to figure out where CTFs are being held. Um, I know universities are really like they really like to have CTFs, so you can always try to get in contact with them.
Yeah. I
Uh,
wonder if B-Sides has a CTF.
oh, it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't. Wait,
I think besides London is in June usually. Security B-Sides.
besides,
Uh,
speaking of
oranges.
speaking of B-sides, are you going to attend the B-sides in Oslo?
Okay, so B-Sides in London seems to be in May or June. Okay, so the Oslo one,
Yeah,
when is it?
it should be in May, 23rd, I think. I
Well, this
will.
is the first time. This is the first time I'm hearing of it. So I don't know.
Ooh.
Maybe. Are there many others in Europe?
A little unsure.
Anyway, like you said, Google
Yeah,
is our friend.
yeah, Google is our best friend here. I'm sitting here Googling it, trying to figure it out. We can, well, if you're attending in Oslo, we definitely have to meet up, and that's for anyone who is watching or listening here.
Are you going to go for that one?
I will, yeah, I already got my ticket.
Oh, okay. How much was it?
It was not that bad. I think it was uh, 60 euros, maybe.
Oh, that's really good. That's really good.
Yeah, it's really affordable. But if you have to pay
Is
for the
that an
hotel,
early bird or?
I think so. It might be early bird or it was a cooperation price or something.
Mhm.
But yeah, I paid 60 euros. So
Oh,
it's
you know what? If I find a cheap flight to there,
ooh, yeah, we're gonna have a drink.
definitely.
Um, the next question that we have here is, do you believe that it's possible to fully automate penetration testing?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Some scenarios, in some scenarios, okay, let me not be just uh, in some scenarios, it might be possible to automate more than in others, but I don't think you would be able to, at this moment in time, like write a script or something that would completely automate the process of penetration testing. Maybe in the future, people would be working on machine learning and AI algorithms.
Such as yourself.
Yeah, uh, sort of. But I think that's something that at this point um, is being investigated or being researched by Google, for example, which have a lot of computation power and a lot of geniuses in AI.
Hmm.
I think very advanced machine learning algorithms you would be able to automate. I wouldn't say like completely, but a lot
Hmm.
of a large proportion of the process. Kind of the answer is kind of ambiguous. If you would be if I would be to answer it from the perspective of just writing a script, strict instructions to
Hmm.
what to do, um, but if you would have a machine learning algorithm to actually learn and do learns, then you may be able to automate like of the process.
Mm-mm. That was well formulated, yeah. So that brings us over to the next question. What do you see is the future of the cybersecurity world? Like,
This is a tough one. Yeah, so that AI and machine learning is gonna be are gonna have a strong voice in this field in cybersecurity.
mhm,
But I think that we're also gonna have to have some oversight on these algorithms and actually do testing. I mean, this is strictly from a technical perspective, but from a higher level perspective, I think cybersecurity is going to impact, and it impacts our lives at very in a very large proportion. If you think of the breaches that you see every day,
mhm,
people, like I said earlier, people are still very unaware and uneducated in the implications online, and not only in that, but also in the fact that they don't have the knowledge most people don't have the knowledge on how to actually think of a secure password.
Mm,
So cybersecurity, especially with the whole automation thing, with the whole fact that more and more people are joining the internet and more devices are getting connected. I think right now there are at least 4 billion people connected to the internet, and in the next couple of years, 2 more billion people. So 6 billion people are going to join the internet, and that's complete chaos. If you think of all the all the ransomware campaigns
oof.
in the past couple of years. So we could discuss this for, I don't know, 10 hours and exhaust the subject.
Oh, we don't have that much time, sadly, but it would be real cool to have a one-on-one with you talking about that
Yeah,
one day.
so Alex asks here, what's your opinion on HTB boxes?
Mm.
Well, I mean, HTB boxes are great. What else? What else would you expect me? I mean, uh, I feel that when I work on an HTB box that has at least a moderate level of complexity, and there have been boxes at which I worked for at least a week,
Mhm.
that I actually learned a lot on the subject
Mm.
after completing that box. And I've got a lot of from starting from the forums and from other people. So, like I'm learning a lot when I'm doing a at least moderate level box on HTB. And from what from what I understand from people who have taken the OSCP, they say that HTB boxes are more difficult than OSCP boxes. So this would be like a good ground to actually train yourself when you wanna uh, when you wanna take the OSCP.
Mm. I also find that the majority of the boxes that are easy to medium are more realistic uh, to occur in a production environment. So let's say we don't want to spoil any boxes here. There was a box that had like a really a bad misconfiguration where you were able to log in and then you got admin. Um, and
I think
that's
those are more realistic.
yeah, because it's more likely for someone to misinstall a WordPress application or a Joomla application instead of someone accidentally keeping a port open which happened to be vulnerable to a heap overflow. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, it often is that system administrators, and you would be surprised, administrators fail to implement basic security measures
Mm,
about like a larger website. But when you're dealing with smaller websites or even blogs,
mm,
so that's also another discussion. I mean, updates are really, really important, and you would be amazed on uh, WordPress blogs are still out there, which could be owned if someone intentionally wants that specific person or that specific blog.
mm,
So yeah, it's very likely, as you're saying, easier boxes on HTTP might be more realistic, but you also get to learn a lot from more difficult boxes. So one of the questions the guys asked, what's my favorite HTTP box? So I would say favorite, I would say that is a very recent one, Conceal,
Hmm.
because it got me a lot of headaches. So I'll stop there because I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, I was about to warn you, like, hey, you cannot spoil the machines here. Uh, so yeah, I haven't done the box myself. I heard it's really, really cool. It's well, what's it called? It has a nice
Conceal
balance to it, I suppose. But I haven't done it, so I don't know.
for it.
Let's see. We don't have a lot of questions left, so you guys are free to open up and ask in the chat as well. Um, Depending on how much time Christy has, we will, uh, yeah, let's say around 10 or 15 minutes left. So there's a question here from Ryan saying, where do you recommend young up and coming to gain experience?
Where would I recommend young up and coming to gain experience? So we are assuming that when someone, so if we speak of Hack the Box,
Mm,
someone has to pay in to Hack the Box creation process.
mm,
So someone young up and coming type of experience. So what I would actually do is to take an introductory level course in cybersecurity on Cybery,
mhm,
self familiar with all the terminology and everything that happens in the field. Course that also breaks down subtopics of cybersecurity, such as penetration testing, which is a subtopic. There are other topics, subtopics. Like I said, reverse engineering would be another one of them. Network penetration testing, mobile app penetration testing, and all that stuff. Code reviews. Um, I would take an introductory level course, and only thereafter I would join one of these platforms like HackTheBox and others, uh, and try or reformulate
mm,
at the same time with taking this introductory level course. I would go to VulnHub, a machine from there, put it on my system, and follow the walkthrough. Because for most of machines on VulnHub, you already have walkthroughs,
mm,
and better understand how a process, a penetration testing process would go,
mm,
that walkthrough, you would follow one, two, three, or four walkthroughs,
mm,
another box, and try to like do it yourself without actually looking. When you're stuck, you could take a peek, try harder, as they say.
hoo-hoo,
Uh, and at the same time, you would try to like to hack the box and then start taking the boxes, which I would say that many of them are more difficult compared to Vulnhub or other platforms where you have
mm,
this type of learning.
yeah,
Oh yeah, uh,
okay,
Vulnhub, hack the box.
yeah. Especially with HackTheBox, it's more challenging than the Volnhub machines, and like we mentioned earlier, the OSCP. machines. So we will be wrapping up, take two more questions, and that will be the one from Broken Admin and the one from Ryan. So the first one here is, would you say that you require a degree for an entry job, or would experience be more important?
I think it depends on how you're getting to that entry job. If you would be going through the conventional route through HRs, you
Mm,
require a degree. But if you know someone who knows someone, at least some basic knowledge,
mm,
security, you could get that entry job without the degree.
mm,
Of course, experience in this case, I'm not really sure if experience is really important if you know someone, but over the long term experience, it is indeed important because without experience, you cannot prove what you're worth.
mm,
If you go for an entry job through the conventional route, degrees definitely help you,
mm,
helps you as well. But if you working, so if you know someone, I wouldn't say that degree or certification matters.
mm. Yeah, I totally agree with you there. It's about the network and actually getting into the whole thing and knowing someone that possibly knows someone. Yeah, that's always it's always a challenge. So the last question that we said we would do was from Ryan,
Yeah.
yeah, which said thoughts on bounty hunting and are you part of HackerOne?
Well, let's say that I am on HackerOne, but it's also something that's really, really appealing to me, and I want to get into that at some point in time.
Hmm.
And now I'm going through a book. I just started going through the web application Hacker's Handbook
Hmm.
edition because I want to really better understand testing and bug bounty at some point in time.
Hmm.
Currently, I'm focusing on testing at my current job,
Hmm.
and at the same time, I'm also learning through this book and through all the platforms. And like I said, at some point in time, I want to get into bug bounty and also into reverse engineering.
Hmm.
Until then, I'll probably buy the OSCP, and that's gonna mean a lot of sleepless nights. Or to that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you'll find a study group here in the Discord as well, because there's a lot of people taking the OSCP all the time here, and people asking questions and everything.
Again, networking, right?
Yeah, networking. Um, that's all the question we really had time to. So thank you, Christy, for taking your time and joining us for your first AMA.
Thank you very much for having me, and I'm really looking forward for the next one.
Oh yeah, we will definitely try to get another one in the not too far future.
All right.
Yeah. So thank you once more. Thank you everyone for participating today and who want to listen to this live. You can find all of Christy's contact information in the announcement channel. So make sure to subscribe to his YouTube channel first and foremost. And also make sure to have a look at his course as he's have. Yep.